Project 2 is the next and the last summative project for related issue 2, and it will be assessed out of a total of 50 marks. This project, however, is a little bit different. Unlike the previous projects that you have completed, this project gives you the opportunity of choosing between two assignments, a film exercise or a research project. Both assignments are equal in weight, totaling 50 marks, and both deal with important concepts pertaining to related issue 2. When you've completed your choice of assignments, please submit it by placing it into the drop box below. Now, let's get started. The first project that you may choose to complete is a film exercise. This exercise deals with the movie Hotel Rwanda. In the exercise, you will have a number of concepts that you will be required to define. And once you've defined these concepts, you will then be required to provide cues from the film that illustrate the meaning of the concept. Let's give you an example. If we look back at the top, the first concept, Rwanda, is actually defined for you, and a visual illustration or cue is provided. Rwanda is a small sovereign republic located in Central and East Africa. It borders Burundi, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Rwanda was also a site of a widespread slaughter in 1994. In 1994, Hutu extremists, an ethnic group, murdered approximately 1 million Tutsi women, children, and men, and this took place in a time span of 1 year. When we look at the visual cue, we see that the entire movie itself, the locale and setting, the area in which the film was made, takes place in Rwanda, and this fact basically illustrates the meaning of the concept. You will need to do this and follow this process for each of the remaining concepts. Once you have completed this part of the assignment, you'll then move on to your next task. The next part of the assignment requires you to provide 2 written responses to specific questions. The first question: can what happened in Rwanda in 1994 be considered an act of genocide? In order to answer the question, you'll have to provide specific examples and details to support your answer. You will look at items other than the film, but you may use elements of the film to assist you in answering the question. The second question: in what ways did ultranationalism contribute to the genocide in Rwanda in 1994, must also be answered. Both questions required specific detail and examples. Your answers and your responses to these questions must come in the form of a paragraph, 1 for each question. Let's do one final review of the project. To begin again, this film exercise requires you to watch the film Hotel Rwanda, and then as you are watching the film, to define important concepts and then provide visual cues for these concepts in a way that illustrate their meaning. Once you've completed this portion of the project, you will then go on to answer, in the second part, 2 questions that have been provided. Remember, and again, it's important that you answer these questions in the form of paragraphs, 1 for each question. Let's now look at the second choice that you may consider. The second assignment that you may choose to complete and submit as your project 2 for related issue 2 is a research project. This research project focuses on the concept of national self-determination. In the assignment, you may choose a number of different case studies and provide research on them. For example, Indochina related to Vietnam, Indochina related to Cambodia, India, Pakistan, Kashmir, Tibet, or you may look within Canada and consider national self-determination from the standpoint of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, or Quebec. Your assignment specifically requires you to present research about your case study in one of the following formats. You may choose to do a slideshow, or maybe you'll do a poster. You could consider doing a brochure, booklet, newspaper, magazine, even a video. Or you may decide to come up with a format of your own. If you do so, you need to contact your instructor about your alternative choice. In doing research, you'll have to come up with information related to such things as relevant maps, charts, statistics, and pictures related to your nation. Your project will include the following sections. Part 1. Why did or is your nation seeking self-determination? Part 2. How did or is your nation pursuing national self-determination? Part 3. You must have a reference section where you make reference to all the information that you have researched and are using. And Part 4. Your presentation. Let's now consider the evaluation portion of your assignment. Like the film exercise, your research project is out of 50 points, but it will be evaluated and assessed in a bit of a different manner. We're looking at a scale of from 1 to 5, from poor or incomplete to excellent, and we're looking at specific criteria. First, overall impression. Then we're looking at history of nation, one of the important concepts within the related idea. After that, pursuit of self-determination, another important concept. Again, then we'll be looking at references, your references, and finally the presentation from the standpoint of delivery and preparedness. Now it's up to you. You can choose between two assignments. Whichever one you choose, make sure you do as well as you can, because again, this is a marked assessment. Good luck.